This year I'm going to do a whole gardening blog taking my account the whole year. So right here you guys can see my holes kind of like squares right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4. We did 3 rows of that, so that's 12 plant spaces for large plants, tomatoes, not eggplants or anything like that. I can usually fit those over there and that over there. And then I was thinking of doing onions on this row right here, onions, chives, and maybe even Swiss chard, but I don't think it'll grow in a row, so we might cut this last part and grow another space for Swiss chard. I just want to see if it'll grow here. I know it actually grows here, but I might just grow it this year just to test it out. Or I'll show you the other garden. As you can see, there's already stuff growing. It's February 7th here in Las Vegas, Nevada. You can see the radishes I pulled out in my winter garden. I can pull all those out. They're edible. I ate too many radishes. I grew a whole bunch. I'll show you the next garden with all the radishes. I pulled so many out, yet there's still so many in there. You can only eat so many radishes. So I was thinking 8 spaces each here. This is usually an eggplant like garden. Not all eggplant, I mean, but just like eggplant size bushy plants like that. We'll probably do eggplants, zucchini, probably zucchini and squash over there, and then eggplant over here to switch it up, because I did zucchini and squash over here last year. Actually, these, I gotta put more manure and stuff because they actually died. I might even do a soil test, and only one of the plants actually came to fruition. It produced like foot-long zucchinis and stuff, like crazy stuff. Yeah. That garden did good too, the one over there. But this is probably the worst producing out of all of them. Square foot, this is probably the most productive garden. You can see my winter garden, you can see all the radishes in there. They'll start to flower soon. You can see they're building up stalks, but they also got aphids on it. You can see those little aphids, all the sap on them. So I think we're gonna get rid of these and do this entire thing just beans. Add some nitrogen back to the soil. Maybe even, I think I'm just gonna remove the radishes. I don't think I'm gonna move it back into the soil. I don't think I'm gonna till it back in. But my idea is just remove all these and just get rid of them unless you guys want them. They are kind of hard because they've been in there a little while. I didn't pick them, so they're old type. They're probably for fodder, like for feeding animals. But this is the garden now. Next week, or maybe even this week, I'll clean it up. And then we'll get it all wet. Maybe add some more soil in there, add some new nutrients, and then we'll plant the beans. Just simple bush beans. So this entire thing will be filled with beans. I'll show you guys that next week when I start planting my cool weather crops, because it gets hot super fast here. The nights are still cold, and the frost I think stops in 2-3 weeks. So I'll plant them probably in 2 weeks, because usually that frost is wrong. I don't think it was even cold last night. It didn't drop below 48, which is pretty good. The plants like beans can handle that. But yeah, you just got to keep the soil somewhat dry so they don't get too cold. But this is the garden right now. I'll show you guys in the end of the year. Let me take some pictures so I can show you like the transformation.